Let us now move on to the next type of authentication and authorization mechanism, that is OAuth 2.0. When people talk about OAuth, they typically mean OAuth 2.0. So throughout this tutorial, I will be referring OAuth 2.0 as OAuth at many places. So let us try to understand what OAuth stands for. We will split this understanding in three parts. First, we'll try to understand OAuth 2 using some example, then we'll move on to understand some key concepts in it, and then understand flows, followed by trying it out in Postman. Now, few years earlier before OAuth, the authorization of a user on a website was done typically assigning a unique user ID and password. But nowadays, you also see a dialog box identical to this one where you can use different websites to sign in. Like here, you can sign in using Google, Twitter, GitHub, and multiple options. To speak technically, OAuth stands for Open Authorization. It is a standard designed to allow a website or application to access resources hosted by other web apps on behalf of the user. This may seem confusing, so let's look at another example. This is the sign-in page of Airbnb. Here, you, as an user, when you want to log in into Airbnb, you have various options. So, by using one of these options, you will be essentially allowing Airbnb to access your data on, say, Google, Facebook, or whichever option you choose. This is enabled by OAuth 2. Note that OAuth is an authorization protocol, not authentication. To understand what I mean by this, let us try and log in into Airbnb using Facebook. So I go on login page and select continue with Facebook, and I enter the details of my Facebook account. Here you see that Facebook is asking us for authorization to provide our data to Airbnb. We can also check which data exactly Airbnb is asking for from Facebook. And we also have an option to select which data we want to share with Airbnb from our Facebook account. Essentially, we are deciding what data from our Facebook account do we want to share with Airbnb. And hence, I say that OAuth is an authorization mechanism and not authentication. Now that we have understood what OAuth is on high level, let's see what different roles or components are involved in OAuth 2. The first one is the user. That is, in the previous example, you were the user who were trying to access Airbnb. So you here are the resource owner or the user. And you gave limited access to your account on Facebook to Airbnb. So we can say that resource owner is a person who is giving access to some portion of their account. The next was the OAuth client or the third party application. In the previous example, Airbnb was the OAuth client. The client is the application that is attempting to get access to the user's account. It needs to get permission from the user, that is you, before it can do so. Next comes the authorization server. This is the server that presents the interface where the user approves or denies the request. Remember, we had got a page from Facebook where we could accept or reject Airbnb's request to access our data on Facebook. That page was from authorization server. In smaller implementations, this may be the same server as the API server, but in large-scale deployments, it will often be built as a separate component. For simplicity, let's just call it Facebook Authorization Server. The fourth component is the OAuth provider or the OAuth server. In the previous example, Facebook was the OAuth server, which also had the data of the user. It can also be called as resource server. So these were the various roles or parties involved in any OAuth 2 flow.